Welcome to a new year edition of the Commissioner's Corner, our first recording, at least in the 2022 year. I am joined today by Bulldog Assistant Captain Gabby Hughes from the University of Minnesota, Duluth. Gabby, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I hope everyone knows Gabby's our reigning forward of the week and the reigning national forward of the month, which means she had a pretty incredible December. So we'll talk about that as we get into the conversation. But I actually want to start somewhere totally unrelated to at least Bulldog hockey, and share a story with our viewers and give you a platform, Gabby, to talk about something that I know is really important to you. For those that don't know, there was a young female hockey player by the name of Sophie from the Duluth area that took her own life this summer at just age 14. And it was certainly a tragic set of events that has caused, I think, a lot of us in any space, whether you're a mom or a coach or a teammate or a hockey player who can relate to some of her feelings, to even think more about the mental health crisis that is challenging our young adults right now as we speak. And I know Sophie holds a special place in your heart, and you're part of a lot of things to, not only keep her name alive, but to keep the focus on some of the things that are important around Sophie's passing. So I just want you to tell us, Gabby, a little bit about Sophie and maybe, your connection to her and what it's been like to be a part of Sophie Strong.
Yeah. I coached her. So throughout, she's been a part of, my dad has a little summer hockey program that he does down in the cities, called Skate to Excellence, and she and her older sister Rachel had been a part of that for the last 2 or 3 years, I would say. When I'm at home for the summer, or anytime I really get to go home, I just love going and hanging out and even just sitting on the bench or going and practicing with either the U19 team or the U14 team. And I would run this summer. I was able to run by myself a little stick handling clinic through my dad's summer program, and Sophie came every Monday and Tuesday. And she came to our house. We have a little shooting area, and she would come and shoot, and she's from Sartell. So it's a pretty long drive, I would say hour and a half, just to come and shoot 3 nights a week or whatever. So just the dedication that she had, and her sister, just to come down every single day, like Monday, Tuesday, they come on down for stick handling. Thursday nights, they come to shoot pucks. And just to see their dedication and the smile on their face that they had was just like pure enjoyment. And they loved what they did. And Sophie just came in with like the bubbliest smile. And I know a lot of people say people come in and they light up a room, but she truly did. She came in with a smile everywhere she went. And I think even the kids that she played with, that's their main thing that they say, is just her smile just lit up the room. And it's something that I took away from her was her smile. Every time I walk into a room, I just try and be as good as she was and make everybody a little bit happier throughout their day. So that was my connection. And when she did take her life on this summer, on the 12th of July, we were going out to Boston for the Beantown Classic tournament, and her older sister Rachel and her mom ended up wanting to come and still do the tournament, just so that they could be surrounded by their closest family and friends and get a little break throughout the chaos that they were dealing with. And it turned out to be such a big and great blessing. We ended up talking as a huge group, all the parents, my dad, my brother, me, my mom, and we're like, we need to do something for this. And it started off with the smallest conversation. And after that week, we came back and had a meeting, and people wanted to be a part of it. And a committee was made, a board was made, and here we are. And it has just it's been a roller coaster. And it's so amazing to see all the great things that has came of just a small conversation that we had, that we were impacted by a beautiful young lady.
So I know there's been a couple of events specifically, maybe more than I know of. And I know teal is a big part of it, because I understand that was Sophie's favorite color. And I think, for all of us who have been impacted one way or another by a tragic passing, whether it be from, suicide or something else, that there's always the challenge of really trying to keep that person's legacy alive. And even at only 14, it sounds like she had a legacy to keep alive. And so are there things coming up that are happening, or are there ways that folks can support the cause?
Yeah. So what we have 3 different tiers of events that you can host at your rink. We have a Hockey Hits Back event where the whole entire committee, we come out and we do a huge big event. We have all of our tables of merchandise set up. We do a ceremonial puck drop and all that good stuff. Then there's also the next level is an honor game. So we just kind of give you a little bag of things, and we still come and do chuck a puck, but we give you a little bag of stuff and we kind of let you have the game by yourself. And not everyone from our committee goes, but we'll have a couple people just go and give a talk to the team and the opposing team. And then there's also I'm blanking on what we call it. I think it's a tribute game is what we call it. And we give just the bag of goodies for them that could give enough teal tape, a puck for everybody, a resource card, and a helmet sticker. And we let them just kind of do what they want with that through a game. So we don't really have a whole lot to do with that. We just give them the resources that they want to do for fundraising. So those are the kind of 3 different tiers that we have. Our next big event, we have a Hockey Hits Back event on the 11th this month. And then on the 15th, my family and all of our volunteers and the people of the committee are coming up to Duluth, and our game against Bemidji, we're having a Hockey Hits Back event, and I am just so excited. Sophie's parents are going to be there for the puck drop, and I had a meeting about it this morning, just sorting everything out, and it's going to be super fun. They're letting us do everything we wanted to get done, and fundraising is all going to come back to Sophie's squad. So I'm super, super excited for that. And those are kind of our 2 big events that we have coming up.
So Sophie's squad is raising funds for suicide awareness and prevention. Is that right?
Yeah, we're basically, our main goal is just to bring awareness to mental health and basically make it's okay to talk about is kind of our big accomplishment that we want to get to. We do have 2 or 3 organizations that we work with that all of our proceeds we end up giving back to them. So we're with the SAVE organization through Minnesota, and then we also are working with the M3 Foundation. And there's I think it's called the Clara's House up in St. Cloud or Sartell that we've been working with. So our proceeds go to one of those 3 organizations, and or it comes back into us into giving to different programs to do these events to just raise that awareness.
Amazing. We're going to talk about a few other things right now, but nothing I don't think is going to have the same feeling or impact as to what you're doing. And I know I've told you this before, but I just am so proud of you for, diving right in and realizing that you have a platform to help, and you're doing that. And that's really awesome. And I hope that Sophie is smiling down from a place where she's safe. So just kudos. And for those that want to look up more, I think Sophie's Squad has its own website now, where you can Google it and you'll definitely learn more. Let's try to switch gears seamlessly here a little bit, but let's just talk a little hockey. So obviously the Bulldogs just finished off a great weekend, and kind of a great close to 21 and a start to 22 with a sweep this weekend on the road at Harvard, a top 10 team. What was it like to be back on the ice and just talk about the success that you had this weekend?
Yeah, it was super, super fun. I think the break that we did have helped a lot of people just kind of get their niche back and their want to be back on the ice. And we all came back with big smiles on our faces, just ready to get back on the ice and play games. So I think that break definitely helped us along in our success throughout the weekend. But I think the main thing is we were all just having a whole lot of fun out there, and we were playing free and just playing Bulldog hockey. And I think that's kind of what got us going throughout the series. It was so much fun. Boston is such a cool area. Just to be out there, especially for the New Year's. We didn't get to do anything, obviously, but just to be in a different place, it was fun.
Yeah, awesome. Your line, can we just talk about your line for a second? So I just have to know, clearly the 3 of you are incredible in your own rights, and then playing together, and just how dynamic you are on the ice. Like, what is it like to play with Anna and Elizabeth? Just tell those of us who don't get to skate like you skate what it's like.
It's so fun. I've been so lucky. I've gotten to play every college game I ever have with Anna Klein on my line. So we have a special connection. I think we've gained trust in one another, where communication is such a big part of our game. And we've learned that throughout the years. So we're not afraid and we don't get hurt when one of us says, hey, we should try this or we need to do this. So I think that plays a big role into it. And Jig just came in with the same exact mentality. So she just came in and did her thing and just was so easy to get along with on the bench. But on the ice, just the speed Kleiner has, the shot, the skill, and then Jig's playmaking ability. It's so fun. It really is. I feel so lucky every time I get to play with them on a line. I just have so much fun. I come back to the bench smiling like 90% of the time.
Most of us who are watching are smiling most of the time as well, just to be fair. So for your unit, for your team in particular, the experience of the Frozen Four last year and having that opportunity, how has that shaped or impacted the way that you've prepared for this year?
Yeah, I think it just shifted our mindset into focusing on getting to the Frozen Four. I think in years past, it's always a goal of a team in the NCAA to get to that point, but you don't really say it every single day. It's not something you get on the ice for practice and you're like, we're winning a national championship this year. That's what we're doing. And that's kind of what we shifted last year in our mindset. And I think it played a big role is everyone just keeping their eye on the prize rather than just going through the motions and not having any days off. So I think that helped us a lot last year, and we've carried that into this year. It's one of our main topics that we talk about every single day before we get on the ice. We have it written up in the locker room. It's something we don't want to forget is our main goal, and it's easy to get lost up in the life that you live in college and everything that goes on, and you wonder why you're doing some of the stuff you're doing, and then you look up and you realize that it's to win a national championship and how amazing that's going to be. So I think just shifting our mindset in that aspect has definitely helped us a lot, and getting it last year, it makes it a lot more realistic and pushes us even more to get back there.
The home stretch is here, sort of, I guess. You're back to WCHA action this weekend, and then we stay in WCHA action until the regular season closes. So you're on the road at St. Cloud, obviously the large sheet at the Herb. How are you preparing for that, and what are you most looking forward to now in the second half?
Yeah, I think just to see the team keep on growing and going an uphill slope rather than plateauing. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing for us this semester is using this big stretch to our advantage, and to keep climbing and to keep getting better every single day and not being satisfied is going to play a huge role in that. And as for this weekend, I think we're just focused on continuing to play Bulldog hockey and not straying away from the style that we want to play and what we want our identity to be. And that's been a big focus for us so far this semester. So I think just continuing that talk throughout this weekend can help us get another Bulldog win. Get
a couple wins. So Tell me about Gabby and Gabby's family and Gabby's path to hockey. Tell us a little bit about how you got yourself to UMD.
So I really didn't have a choice of playing hockey or not. My dad, there's 6 siblings, I think, almost 7 maybe. And his dad and his uncle, or his brothers, my uncles, all played hockey. And my aunts played hockey. My dad played hockey. My older brothers played hockey. So by the age of 2, I had skates on my feet.
So Gabby played hockey.
So Gabby played hockey. My mom tried to get me into volleyball because she played volleyball. And I was like, no, I think I'm going to play hockey. And I just ended up falling in love with it. And my brothers fell in love with the sport too. So having them push me, and I always wanted to be like them when they went through high school. And I had such good role models as a father and my brothers that they just made me want to go places with hockey and impact not only just the hockey world, but people throughout Centennial's community and get people to know that hockey is an amazing sport, which it is. And there's so many different avenues that you can have throughout hockey. So I didn't really have a choice. I have so many pictures of me as a little girl and skates. I have skates on and a helmet, but then I'm in a princess dress when I'm 2 years old. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started.
Was UMD an easy choice for you?
So it was always between North Dakota and UMD were my top choices. And I ended up choosing North Dakota, but when their program folded, Duluth, the coaches they obviously wanted me to come here, but they reached out in a different way than everyone else, in a approach that they were like, if you need any help along this journey, this must be super tough for you, not being able to go to the school that you wanted to go to. So if you need any advice or anything along the way, like, we're here to help you. So just having that culture that they have and experiencing that from a different perspective, from that moment on, I knew I wanted to come and be a part of the culture that they had up here. It's amazing. And I'm so happy and blessed that I ended up in Duluth, because I don't know what I would do if I was anywhere else.
Well, I guess you don't have to know. So we'll take that.
Yeah.
Sometimes difficult things lead to good things. So that's a positive.
I definitely think this was one of those situations.
Well, I agree. I'm happy. I mean, I guess had North Dakota stayed, they still would have been in the league. So either way, you were going to stay in the WCHA, but it certainly seems strange to think about you in anything else than maroon and gold.
I know.
Life after college. What's your major?
I'm an elementary and special education major.
I feel like I could have guessed that, actually, now that you say it. So is that something that you really want to do? How far do you hope hockey takes you? Kind of, what do you think's next?
Yeah, I'm going to play hockey as long as I can, just because the love that I have for it is unlike anything else. It's my escape from everything that happens in life outside of the rink. So definitely going to try and play as long as I can. But after that, I am so excited to start teaching. I have done a couple student teachings each semester. I get placed in a different school in Duluth and a classroom, and I absolutely love it so much. So I'm really, really excited to get going with that. But my family tells me, my mom tells me, I was like, you're going to work the rest of your life.
Yes.
So don't get into it too early. So
yes.
I'm going to
Amen, Mama Hughes. She's a smart lady.
Yeah. So
you got plenty of things to accomplish before that happens,
yeah.
But also very confident you're going to impact whatever school district or whatever young people get to have the blessing of having you as their teacher.
I am so excited. I love it so much.
That's so awesome. Let's transition to my favorite part. I mean, I say my favorite part, actually the whole interview is always my favorite part, but the end of the interview, that's where I get to put you on the hot seat a little bit. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Sweater or hoodie?
Hoodie.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Board game or card game?
Board game.
You're just like cranking it out. I like this. Okay, Starbucks or Caribou?
If it's a cold drink, Starbucks. If it's a hot drink, Caribou.
I don't know if you've seen this. Pause. There was a clip on Twitter this weekend, and I think it was Boston College, where the players were coming onto the ice and they must have been asked about it. Starbucks, Caribou, Tim Hortons, maybe. It's really funny. You should watch it. And it mirrors all of my conversations thus far, because it's like, well, if I'm doing this, or I don't know, it depends on money. Maybe if I'm in Canada.
That's hilarious.
It's funny. You should watch it. I'll find it for you. It's very good. Okay, ocean or mountains?
Mountains.
Pen or pencil?
Pencil.
Teacher. I was like, if you say pen, you're okay. So when you're at a movie, are you a popcorn or candy person?
Popcorn.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
No doubt, driver. Morning person or night owl?
A little bit of both. I go to bed super early, but I'm really cranky in the morning until I have my coffee.
Good to know. Dinner or dessert?
Dessert.
Yes. Road trip or plane trip?
Road trips.
Where would you go? Where's your favorite road trip?
I went to Zion National Park.
It was awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Dogs or cats?
Oh, I would say dogs, but I have a cat that I love so much. But I just
your cat's not listening.
Yeah, but he can't hear me.
That was so cute. Oh, that was a good solid initial reaction. Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Dine in or delivery?
Delivery. COVID.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, last one. What is one word that you would use to describe yourself as a hockey player?
I think I would choose passionate as a hockey player.
Love it.
Yeah.
Passionate Gabby and her teammates. and her teammates are back on the ice this weekend. They have a doubleheader in St. Cloud against the Huskies Friday and Saturday. Saturday's game is actually a 1:30 puck drop on Valley Sports North. The rest of the league, we've got a few other teams in action. Ohio State's at home hosting Lindenwood in non-conference action. Minnesota State Mankato hosts Syracuse in non-conference action. And the new Twin Cities rivalry, the Gophers and the Tommies of St. Thomas, will take place this weekend as well. Also, Minnesota and St. Thomas are game 2 of our Valley Sports doubleheader on Saturday with the 4 o'clock puck drop. All of those games can be found on B1G Plus streaming because they're all home WCHA games. Lots of action for you this weekend. Gabby, thanks so much for joining me. Best of luck this weekend in St. Cloud.
Thank you so much for having me.